What's good, my G's? Your boy Snow, Ignorant Gamers in the house. Of course, G stands for Gamers. How you doing? How you living? How you gaming? Shout out to everybody that subscribed to the channel. You already know what time it is. IGZ up. And yeah, if you're new here, subscribe. For about 5-10 videos, you'll hear this in another video. And if you ain't feeling us when you come across that, you can unsubscribe. We thank you for your patronage. If you love us, you stay with us, you already know what the deal is. So, enough of that yin yang. Let's get into the big bang. AAA, that is. So, ex-Battlefield director says that AAA development is stifling creativity, and also says that AAA games is the equivalent of the 1%. Remember that? Remember you fuckers who messed up my Zuccotti Park and messed up my Union Square for a movement that went nowhere in New York City? You remember that? 1%ers. Anyway, David Goldfarb, I'm just calling him David G because he's a gamer, you already know, is an ex-Battlefield 3 and Payday developer. So he abandoned AAA games for, well, both these titles for the same exact reason. And the reason was that it's lacking the creativity, and it's not just him that feels this way. The homie Hideo Kojima, which is Metal Gear Solid developer, had shared the same sentiment last year, saying it's hard to maintain creative freedom when working on such a large-scale game. Now, David G was saying that he thinks that there's a soft spot between the $100 to $200 million AAA game and the $1 million indie games that is not being explored. And to him, it's a really rich field for him to dive into and create some awesome stuff there. So, and also, let me say this real quickly. He just created a 4-person studio called, wait for it, The Outsiders. Ooh! New World Order. So, you know, to talk about what he's saying, AAA games, and I know a lot of these terms have become, you know, available to normal people these days, or people who aren't that deep in. It's like a buzzword now. Like, I remember working for this one company that I'm not going to remain. Widget was a buzzword when we were doing widgets, and now hashtag is. So, you know, let me get you guys up to speed. These AAA games are like the big bangs and the big bosses games, you know what I mean? And I feel like when we was coming up, we had a nice plethora of games that were triple, double, and single, might I even say. Now, indie games, for the most part, they got some really great games over there, you know? If you're into playing games, if you're looking for your shooters, very rarely do they carve up any super dope shooters on the same rate that they produce AAA games. Not saying that all AAA games are home run hitters either, but, you know, there's some in between there. Now, he was playing Payday. Payday, I enjoyed Payday 1. I think Payday 2 was good, but not as great what I expected Payday 2 to be based on Payday 1. Kind of sounded like Medal of Honor 2010 to Medal of Honor Warfighter. But growing up, I'm sure we had a lot of those games, you know, where there was some AA, AAA games. And I think Sniper Elite 3 might be an example of what I want to call a AA game, because, and excuse me if I'm just using some old terms here, because you guys don't know where I'm coming from with this. This is a long angle where it's like the game Sniper Elite, you get the game, you play the game, it has some good production, you just get in, you play, the story is decent, and it's fun. And the game came out retail at $50. You get what I'm saying? Retail $50, and I enjoyed that game, as well as Sniper Elite 2. Then I have some of the games that I paid $60 for, you know, or even bought the edition, a slated edition for. So I think there was another thing too, where you know, that Just Cause 3 developer or something was saying that it's unhealthy and unprofitable when developing AAA games. I mean, these games cost millions and millions of dollars, and I thought as the technology got better for creating games on platforms and creating games in general, it wouldn't go that high, and it seems to be the exact opposite. And the appetite for these big bang games are up there, but if I was a developer, I wouldn't I wouldn't even think about it. I would be creating a $50 game or a $40 game, because you guys are, let me not say you guys, because they make me seem like I'm pointing a finger, but there's a lot of things that's just going on right now that just doesn't make sense to me for me to put out a AAA game, you know, unless I can really bank on something, you know, maybe. But even then I would still be like, hey, this is our first game, and how well it does, we'll do the second game, and that'll be AAA. I want that money. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. Do you think Mr. David G is correct on his thinking? I think we are, as gamers, this is our problem, because if you guys want variety, or you're tired of companies doing the things that you don't like, the only way to help is stop talking to them and demand it. You don't think they hear your demands? Oh, they hear them. Trust me, they hear them. If they didn't hear them, these reviews and these day one embargoes or whatever, patches and everything wouldn't happen the way that they happen. Because before 2010, do you recall that shit happening like that? Anyway, your boy Snow, Ignorant Gamers, and I'm out. One. It's Ignorant Gamers, Snow in the building. Let me make sure I got the right instrumental set up so I can finish talking my talk. Oh, yeah, I got it. Let's go. What's going on, gamers? What's going